you would think that you make the university a lot of money, that you would get some type of respect. The only answer that we ever gotten was, I'm just a white guy who got this position. And that became very difficult, not only for me, but for the other student athletes at the university. And here's why. Is because we're often put in situations where we're told not to speak. Even for Chucky, for instance, he was put in a situation where somebody that he thought cared about him told him that he shouldn't be speaking about the situation that he speaks about. Again, shut up and play. So does that make us a slave? Does that make us these players that are no longer allowed to say anything about the things that we care about? Are we not allowed to speak out and speak about the things that we enjoy? And with that said, when people say, oh, you guys are just professional athletes, you shouldn't speak. Well, majority of the people who speak up about these things are professional in their own right. Right or wrong, they're professional in their own right with that understood. So just because we're professional in a different field, it doesn't mean that we can't speak. That doesn't make any sense. And I've come to realize that sports has become its own sense of slavery. And what do I mean by this? For a long period of time, players are not paid. We're not paid to go out there and make the school billions of dollars, millions of dollars. We're not paid to go out there to make sure that every single dime that they make off of the jerseys that are sitting on our backs is going into our pocket. We're going out there to play for our families. And people say, well, you get a scholarship to play. How does this even add up to racism? Here's your example. You get a scholarship to play, but now put this into perspective. Out of 325 days of the year, I'm legitimately with the football team. I have not seen my family on any holiday in 7 years. Now, what does that say to you? I spend multiple time for the university. Everything that I do is for the university. Every chance that I get to breathe has been for the university. But still, with that said, the university didn't take the time to speak for us. So with that said, me and a couple athletes got together and we're like, we're not going to let this happen. We're not going to sit here and stand here and let a group of people who have no respect for us speak out for us. So we decided to speak for ourselves. And this is why I find this is very important to tell you guys, is simply because this is a major Power 5 university that's supposedly supposed to be top tier. But with that said, it's unfair to say that when top tier is only for top tier of people who are of the majority. Okay, so for example, as a student athlete, I'm only allowed to take certain types of classes in order for me to be productive within the system. What does that mean? I'm only allowed to take communication classes. I'm only allowed to take sociology classes. I can't be a doctor. I can go into business, but I can't go into engineering because it takes up too much time for my main goal, and that's to play football. As a student athlete as well, we get told certain things. I'm not going to go too deep into it because I don't want to give away too much tea, but the reality behind it is you are a student athlete. I'm going to show you again, and please do not blink. You're a student athlete. Now, what does that mean? There's times where I wasn't even able to do business school like how I attended because we had to travel. We had to wake up. We had to be up early. We had to do all these things where people legitimately don't understand that, like, yo, as college athletes, you're legitimately a slave. Like, I get 2 weeks to go enjoy my summer. Then after those 2 weeks, I go right back to school. So, for example, for some of you guys who are still in high school or you guys are going into college, I believe the two young gentlemen who were speaking before, one of you guys are going into college. College sports is very difficult because a lot is asked out of you. Okay, so for example, we go to school from fall, winter, summer, spring. So that means I only get 2 weeks out of the year to myself. And the rest of those weeks is spent with the football team. So with that said, I've been going to school nonstop for 7 years. And hopefully in hopes of getting a better education. And I say in hopes because I'm still having to wake up. I still have to study the same way that regular college students have to study. I still have to get up and do the same things as a student athlete, but then I also have to take my book serious. Now, most coaches don't care if you take your book serious, but they're going to do whatever it takes for you to graduate because it gives them an opportunity to say that we care about your kids. The reality behind that is the fact that when they say that we care about your kids, they care about the check that puts them in a good position in order for them to feed your family. With that understood, for those kids who are going to go play college sports, you need to understand very quickly I say this, is the fact that college sports at a Division I level is not fun. It's a business. It can be fun if you know how to handle business. I'm going to say this one more time. College sports at a Division I level cannot be fun if you do not realize that it is a business. If you don't know how to treat yourself as a business, it's very impossible for you to go about having fun at a collegiate level.